Welcome to the show. I am excited to have special guest Cathy Nesbitt on the show. Cathy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm excited. Oh, I love that intro music. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. So excited to have you here. So excited to dive into your hidden edge. I think it's so needed in the world at this moment, this juncture we're at. We had, as we were about ready to tape, Cathy's computer kind of went sideways, so we needed to use what we're going to talk about today before we got on to just level set. So, Cathy, share your hidden edge, kind of how you discovered it, and then I'm excited to unpack it.
It's not so hidden if you know me. It's laughter. So how did that happen? I'm a laughter yoga teacher, and how that happened is it's the 20th anniversary of my worm composting business, flogging worms for 20 years, selling worms by the pound for 20 years for indoor composting. I thought everyone wanted what I had. Not everyone wants worms in the house. That's a whole nother separate episode. But 2012, 10 years into my worm business, one more person said, "Ooh, worms in the house." And I was like, I got all in my head, Jeff. Like, what am I going to do? Why do I care so much? How am I going to do this if people are still saying ooh about my product? And I was introduced to laughter yoga, and
Okay.
it saved my worm business. Yeah. I'll just stop there. I'll just let you guide me next.
Okay, so laughter yoga. Explain that to the audience because I'm sure people already have an idea in their head, but what is that? What's the definition of laughter yoga? And then I'm excited to dive into really the science and the background, why it's so powerful, how we act, or the majority of people act on a day-to-day basis, how that impacts their mood, their stress levels, their happiness. So what, first and foremost, what is the definition of laughter yoga?
Love it. Thank you. Yes. So laughter yoga is not about fancy pants or poses. It's intentional laughter exercises designed to make us feel good. It's not about jokes or comedy. It's laughing. I mean, if only we could just laugh, which we can, although it just seems, culturally inappropriate. So laughter is the universal language. Ever heard laughter's the best medicine?
I have heard that many times. Yes.
Right? I follow that with, have you had your daily dose? Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, the love drugs, versus cortisol and adrenaline when we're stressed. Yeah, it's really a simple thing, but not so easy. Just like all of the things that you talk about, drink water, move, bookmark your day, and your day will be awesome. It can't not. It's the same thing. Laughter is just another tool that in our toolbox, and it's a super fun thing. So it started in India in 1995 by a medical doctor. So there's science, hallelujah. Dr. Madan Kataria. His goal is world peace, and how wonderful. There are laughter clubs in about 120 countries.
Okay.
It's a global movement. North America is a late adopter. you may know. So yoga is kind of just arriving. So laughter yoga is still in the ocean. It's still arriving. Still new. Still you can get on the ground floor. Yeah. So it's gentle movement. There is gentle movement. It's clapping and chanting. But what laughter does, it connects us on a really deep level. It brings us to a high vibration. When we're laughing, we're totally present.
Hmm.
We can't be thinking about yesterday or tomorrow, like anxiety, depression, whatever, frustration. They're all low vibrating energies. So when you're laughing, you're not thinking about those things. You're not thinking at all, in fact. You're just laughing, which is such a beautiful, it's a gift.
No, I love that. And I love how the last piece you said, laughter causes you to be totally present. And that is so rare these days, to be totally present in the moment, because we're hooked into technology. We're tethered to our phones. We're always on. And people struggle with being in the present moment. They struggle with calming down their minds, right? That's why anxiety and stress and kind of that state of overwhelm is at all-time highs. So laughing causes you to be present. I love that fact. And I know we're late adopters in North America for a lot of things. But
Mm.
so how did you get, I'm curious, how did you get hooked into doing laughter yoga? What was the spark? Did somebody say, hey, you got to check this out? How did that happen?
Yeah, so the person said, "Ooh," I was at a business meeting. The first speaker did a 5-minute intro into laughter yoga, and I was like,
Okay.
cool. And then that same week, I was at a business networking event, hundreds of people, right, BC. And the very first woman I met was a laughter yoga teacher. And
Mm,
I was like, what? Laughter yoga, it's mainstream.
right.
Twice in 1 week, come on. And then she said, no, it isn't. Anyway, we trooped around, and her club, she had a club in North York, which is a division of Toronto. Toronto's a massive city, and it was 5 minutes from where my mother-in-law lives. Like,
Oh, wow.
what? Come on, how can that be? So I love my mother-in-law. She passed last June, but I said to her, "Hey, Mary, you want to go to laughter yoga?" And she said, "What's that?" And I said, "I don't know, but I don't want to go alone."
Right.
So we would go. It was a monthly club. We would go monthly. It was our date night. So fun. And we like it. It's weird. If anyone hasn't been to a laughter club, plan to go twice, because whenever we do something new, it's odd or it
Mm,
can be weird, right? So plan to go twice. So then the second time you're like, you know what to expect. Because laughing without jokes or comedy can be an affront. Like, oh, what am I
mhm.
laughing at? What, you want me just to clap and laugh? Ha ha ho
Right.
ho. Yes, that's right. That's what we want. And so for the people that are really serious in their head, there's clapping. So there's rhythm. It's 1 2 1 2 3, or ho ho ha 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 are the words.
Okay.
And in martial arts and Tai Chi and Qigong and all these energy practices, we often say ha.
Mm,
It's because, and so laughter is ha ha or ho ho, and our diaphragm is attached to all of our organs. So we're actually moving our diaphragm when we're laughing. And in our body, it really is scientifically proven about laughter. It's so beautiful, which is wonderful. It doesn't just make us feel good. It really is scientifically proven that it's good for us. We have a heart to pump our blood. We have
mhm.
another fluid called lymphatic fluid, and lymph only moves when we move. And we used to move a lot more.
Right.
We don't move very much now. We're sitting all the time, or we're on our thing, like you said, and I'll get to our cell phone in a moment. Um, so when we're laughing, we're moving our lymph. When we're doing deep diaphragmatic breathing, so even deep breathing is, or when we're moving. So laughter serves a lot of purposes. It moves our lymph. It oxygenates our beautiful body. We can't just ha ha because we're exhaling. At a
Mhm.
certain point, like you're going ha ha ha. You're in it with your friends. Ha 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 ha. You're totally present, laughing, giggling. Your stomach hurts. You're crying because you're laughing so much. At a certain point, you have to go
Mm,
so you can keep on ha-haing. How beautiful, right? So we're getting rid of all of that stale air,
mhm.
because when we're stressed, we're not breathing properly. All of that stale air, that what do you call it? Carbon dioxide, you know, careening around our body, all the stress hormones. Our body needs to function with all, like, get rid of all of that. So how beautiful if we can, and stress, by the way, I know is related to 90 something percent of today's ailments. When we're stressed, that's where we are. We need to get out of stress to do anything else.
Right.
Woo!
And when we're in that stress zone, I mean, that's typically triggers our fight or flight system, right? And then we're constantly in this area of just always our bodies are on alarm, right? That's how I like to relate it, is
Mm,
when our fight or flight system is kicked in, your body's on alarm, it's triggered, you're keyed up. And if we go through our days over and over like that, it puts a wear and tear on yourself physically and mentally, emotionally, that we're just not equipped to deal with. So that's why taking breaks when you're, sitting, to get up and moving, laughing. I always tell people, like, try and smile and not be happy. Like,
right?
you can't be sad when you have a bright smile on it. Just try it, right? You can't. So, and it's infectious. right? It's very difficult. And I'm sure you've seen it in your laughter yoga sessions where everybody is like, and there might be somebody new and all of a sudden they can't stop laughing either. So I'd love to, share those experiences of running those sessions and then how it's been impactful to others. And what do people say after they've gone through their first session? Or like you said, the first session kind of feels odd. What's their reaction after the second session?
Love it. Yeah. Yeah. Try smiling and doing this. Whenever we do thumbs up, it's like it just goes. I would even like to invite people to just do a selfie, like laughter yoga is about little games. So selfie laughter is one of the things. So you can just hold up your phone. Yeah. As soon as people bring out their right there, it's like, they're like, might be really grumpy, but then as soon as someone they're like, it's so weird. And it's so random because before people hated getting their picture taken.
Right.
So in the session, let me talk about my first session. So I went with my mother-in-law and, so it's safety in numbers, right? At least I was with someone that was fine. It was nice. And we were playing full on because the laughter instructor will invite you because your head's going to be like, this is weird. What are you doing? Stop it. What, because the brain, the ego's whole operating thing is to keep you safe and conserve energy. But the body starts secreting those drugs. So we were playing full on, and you give yourself permission to play and be childlike. And so we were playing and we kept looking at each other like, this is weird. And we left there saying that was odd, but I feel great. How do you feel? Right. Right. And then we slept great. And the effect of laughing for 30, 40 minutes stays with you because your body is, again, fully oxygenated. And, your cells are having a party. And so you're totally relaxed. It's just a beautiful experience. So the first time, because I was with my mother-in-law, it was fine because we were together. The second time was better because we knew what to expect. And then, you kind of play even more. And the clapping, ho, ho, ha, 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 that's priming. Like NLP, right? As soon as you start clapping, we're like Pavlov's dog. We start secreting the love drugs. We're like, oh, it's happy time. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. And everyone doing it in a group. Oh, in-person sessions are just magic, Jeff. They just are an added over the edge. But 2020 came and we know what happened. Everybody jumped online. Before 2020, you would be hard pressed to find online laughter. Now, laughter yoga, it's like laughter yoga was started in 1995, but it was for 2020. Gotcha. Because, right, we have this global mental health tsunami, and it is. It was here before 2020, but it's really here now because it's much bigger. Right. And it's gathered momentum. Like way more people are suffering and struggling, as you said. They're just in it, like they're the hamster in the wheel. They're just like spinning. Nobody knows what's happening. And how do you torture people? You isolate them. Right. Right. So we did a big giant, I don't know, I don't want to get into the politics or anything about the pandemic, but it's a global thing and is like a big giant psychology experiment. I have a psych degree, so I'm curious. 2020 came and we're all shut down. And then laughter yogis around the world just jumped online, Zoom rooms. You can laugh 24/7 online for free. And I would invite people to do that. I have a free laughter club every Tuesday, 30 minutes, super fun self-care. And so during this time, I knew I'm an extrovert and I need people. Before 2020, I was doing between 100 and 200 events a year. I don't want to do that again, by the way. I'm like, okay, I was the hamster too then. Right. Just I thought I had to do all these things and I didn't. I'm like, oh, I actually don't have to. I can say no to the things I don't want to do. How fun. And working from home. What a gift. Again, you need to be motivated and you need to have discipline and boundaries and all those things. Oh, my courier's here. Oh, can you believe it? Can I just go and I got to just
go ahead. Go ahead. Real quick.
I'm sorry. No, how could that happen? Hello. Oh, I have just two over here. Oh, I'm just in a podcast. That's so funny.
Oh, geez. Okay, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That's oh my gosh. Oh, the door's in it. Oh, thank you thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Jeff. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, everything's happening today. Hello.
Hi.
Everything happens in 20 minutes. You
There
never
you
know
go.
what's going to happen.
It's all good. We roll with it. That's life. And
Talking about the Zoom room.
we just push on, right? So, yeah, talking about the Zoom room, how everybody went to it, and now there's so many resources out there.
I'm sorry. I think I manifested that because I was like, I should probably put those outside, but one of the package has worms, so it's cold here. I couldn't put them outside. Anyway, hello, everybody. Okay. Whew, I'm back. Oh, Jeff, I'm sorry.
All good. So, one of the things I want to talk about is, and I had mentioned it previously, and I know you just mentioned, hey, people are on this hamster wheel. I say they're plugged into the matrix and they can't get out of it, right? They can't get out of their own way. One of the things I found, and I'm a dad of 2 boys, one's 14, one's 12, and I'm working on limiting their phone time, screen time. So tell us a little bit about the science of, what happens to the body when you're hunched over looking at the screen multiple hours a day, and how that impacts you from a, happiness physiology perspective.
Beautiful. Thank you. So when we're looking at our phone, because we're looking down, we actually have the physiology of depression.
Okay.
We have candy cane neck. So we might be looking at something funny, but our body, and we're small, so we're not taking up much space, right? Because we don't want to drop our technology. I don't have a cell phone, so I really can't imagine what it's like. And there's a wonderful documentary called You Are What You Act, Canadian filmmaker Albert Nuremberg. And I would love that film to be mandatory viewing, especially for high school, I think, because technology is really a big part of life. And if somebody, we say we have selfie sticks now, so we can get just the right angle for, I think I'm doing this because I don't know what I'm doing, but I've seen people,
Right.
right? So somebody will come up with a way, because we're not getting rid of technology, and it's a wonderful thing. Hallelujah for Zoom and all these ways that we can stay connected, but we need boundaries. We really need to have a way. And 12 and 14, it's a perfect time for your young lads to watch that documentary, because they talk in that movie about Tom Cruise, how he has in life saved people, I don't know, from car accident or burning building or something, because it's in his DNA. He does his own stunts in the movie. So same if you act as a depressed person for 6 months or the duration of the film, by the end of the film you're depressed, and you need to go to therapy or do something to get out of depression. So when we're on our phone, like, that's why it really struck me not having a phone. I do see people. I do, everywhere you look, people are looking at their phones like they're at a restaurant. How come you're on the phone at the restaurant? Like, it's expensive to be there.
Right.
Like, be there if you're going to be there. Or mothers walking along with their babies in the crib, and or in the carriage, and I'm just, anyway, I know, because they're made to make us addicted, and we are, like, they're so effective to keep us engaged. Again, back to laughter yoga, something that I do is incorporate brain gym, tapping, and other healing modalities to help people get out of stress. So when we get stressed, blood, lymph, oxygen leaves our brain, because we don't need our answering machine, because our brain thinks that we're in imminent danger, like we need to escape, right? I know, right? Just, we need to escape. We're not necessarily going to die if we just lost our keys or we missed the bus. It might be annoying, but it's not life-threatening, probably. But our body acts as if. So I suggest, when people are on social media, because it's designed to make us angry, or just invoke emotions, it's very effective. You might be looking at something and be like, wow, how could somebody think that? And then you start to compose something. I suggest to people that they rub their hands together, shake them off, put one on the front, one on the back, take a few deep breaths, because there's neurovasculars right here. So,
Okay.
we intuitively know these things, like when we're so overwhelmed, what am I going to do?
Right.
And that just helps our brain. That brings those blood, lymph, oxygen back upstairs. We breathe, so then, the brain can get oxygenated. And then I suggest, like, okay, then you probably won't even want to respond like, oh, I probably don't even know that person in person. Why do I care? Even if you know them, like, who cares?
Right. No, I love that practical tip of rubbing your hands together, hand on the front of the forehead, hand on the back of the head, taking some breaths in and centering yourself again. So that's fantastic. If you feel yourself getting into those places where you're like that, use that exercise. And isn't it so it's such a difficult thing, because our minds are wired to protect us, but yet we're triggered by these things that are not life or death, but the mind interprets that they are. So that's why we're constantly on. It's a never ending battle if you aren't equipped to be able to do these simple things like laughter, like drinking water, like moving, like meditating, like rubbing your hands together, putting it on the forehead and on the back of your head. I know you mentioned to me, in a previous discussion, that you've been working with companies and corporations to incorporate laughter and be more productive. I'd love to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm getting calls from corporations to come in to do team building. And
Okay.
again, it can either be on Zoom or in person.
Mhm.
So beautiful on the big screen. How fun. And it really does help companies. I'm really looking for companies that are interested in the triple bottom line:
Okay.
people, planet, and profit, not just
Okay.
money, because we can't eat money in the end. And so what it does is helps people to connect on a deeper level. It opens up the brain because it oxygenates our beautiful brain. So then creativity. I recently heard a wonderful expression: when we laugh, we raise our vibration, which
Mhm.
increases our creativity and enhances our experience, like just our overall experience. And I can say from my own experience, that's what's happened. And I've been laughing since 2012.
Okay.
I've been really laughing, like every day laughing, serious laughing since 2020.
Okay.
And I know that my life is, I'm not reveling in this global thing, but I'm really grateful for it. I've met such amazing people. Jeff, we never would have met. Maybe
Right.
not never, but because we are next door. But I'm so grateful for the people that I've met. I feel like I did lose a lot of people because this was a very controversial, divisive time that we're in.
Right.
Like, where do you stand? It's like there's no gray zone anymore. It's like you're over there, you're over there.
Yep.
Which camp are you in? Oh, I'm not in a camp. I'm on the fence. Get off the fence. I don't know. I just think that, so the laughter for corporations helps them increase their, people don't want to be away.
Mhm.
It builds our immunity. Who wants a stronger immunity? Laugh, right? Because then we're oxygenating our body. The love drugs are creating, like, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. I'm going to say it again because it's so important. We keep hearing about those, like, oh, if you're depressed, it's because your serotonin's low. Okay, so don't take a pill. Well, you can.
Right.
I'm not suggesting people don't, but try adding laughter, because it is a high vibration. And just to give a little story, my husband was laughter hesitant for a long time.
Okay.
Um, and I know it, we live in a very small house. We've been married for 34 years. We have a loving relationship, but whenever I used to do Skype laughter,
Mhm.
and it was just audio, no talking. It was just laughter leaders
Yep.
practicing their craft for 20 minutes, and he would leave the room. And I never understood why, but he was vibrating at a much lower rate. I'm very fast, and laughter's way up here. It took him a long time to reach where I don't mean to come up to where I am. It's just that it can be an affront. What someone once said, that it was an affront to them, my energy, when I just laugh. Ha ha ha.
Mhm.
It's awkward, and it's only awkward because you're not used to that lovely vibration. It's so beautiful. It's like a little fairy. Um, and I'm a laughter yoga teacher. So I did a training a month ago, and my husband got trained.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's now a laughter. So now, Jeff, this is a beautiful thing. As a speaker, I know it matters what you say, but it doesn't really matter what I say. It's how I make you feel.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
That's for any speaker. If like
Right.
sometimes someone can be super smart, be like blah blah blah, and you're like, oh my
Right.
gosh, I wish
Right.
they're a better speaker. Right? So I think I'm a great speaker, and I have so much fun because I love it. He's a Toastmaster, so he is trained in, and he's very logical. So when we speak together, we speak often like we're both in the worm business for 20 years. Can you imagine? And we're still married in a little teeny house. Can you imagine? Laughter. Someone should get a prize. Um, fun. But now, so when we would speak about worms, when we're at shows and stuff, I'd be like da da dee dee dee, and I'd miss half the details. And then for the people that need the details, they would stay, and he would lovingly go through and tell them, oh, here's the pieces that you missed. And it's just like, so we're like one person,
Gotcha.
right? Like, not that he's not a fun person, he's just more serious and
Mhm.
more logical, and I'm not. It's
Very
so
good.
beautiful. And so
I
I'm really excited to bring this laughter, especially to corporations. Right now, we've got the two pieces that will be a wonderful blend for the
that
workplace.
That's awesome. I appreciate you sharing that story, and it was interesting to hear that journey, and just for you to describe the vibration and where people may hear it, and if they're operating at a lower frequency, it might feel awkward, and they might kind of hesitate. So I appreciate you being transparent and sharing that story. So Cathy, I've really enjoyed having you on the podcast. Where can people find you if they want to attend your free laughter yoga sessions, or where can they look you up?
Yeah, kathysclub.com is my worm or my laughter page. And I'm on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Yeah, come to my it's Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Come, it's on Zoom, super fun self-care. I incorporate tapping, brain gym, and I just want people to feel better.
Awesome. Love it. Cathy, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Rise, fight, love, repeat. Get after it, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to your Hidden Edge podcast. You are now part of the movement, part of a tribe who's on a mission to uncover their hidden edge. We are stronger together, so please share this. Show up with one person in your network that you want to help. Together, we can empower others, and connected, we can make a dent in the universe.